I'm gonna sit over here in case Matt is there. He's getting Matt's getting some stuff around here. But so we had an interesting conversation earlier this week in Discord. Some people asking about sleeves, like what's the best sleeve. I have some problems with corners, things bending, splitting. I didn't cover it. I said I was going to when I was streaming on Tuesday. So we figured kind of like we have a wide variety. Matt's got a large variety here. Does not have these in the store, but has everything else, which is pretty standard. So kind of go over what we use. Matt, do you use hard sleeves, hard inners?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. So this is what Matt and I use currently. Perfect Hards. They're a KMC brand. They're harder to find in a lot of shops. At least around here they are. This is, I found, like the best combination so far. I play a lot of foils. So the hards, when a foil starts to curve a little bit, works well at straightening or flattening that card out. And then I've just found like the Dragon Shields are just superior, at least for me. That's the way that I feel.
Every time I use something other than Dragon Shield mats, I don't like them.
You immediately regret it, right?
Yep.
And there's something to be said too, because we didn't grab the other one there. There is a different.
Yeah.
There's a different Dragon Shield. Also, there's the regular Dragon Shield.
Yeah. If they don't say matte, they're a glossy, like a reflective.
Yeah. Do you have just a backside of a sleeve here?
Yeah. So that's the backside, and this is a really old sleeve.
Yeah, but so you can see it's kind of glossier,
And you can see through it.
Yep.
And you can tell. This is one of the Pokemon cards that are sleeved in it, and you can actually see. Maybe you can't.
You can't quite see from there. I can tell you that there's actually a Pokemon emblem here and a Pokemon emblem here, and there's a Pokeball in the middle there.
Yeah. So if you had like a Magic card sleeved in this, like a double face card, which
It's too
can't use it.
there may or may not be double face cards in Zendikar.
Correct.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to use these sleeves, or you'd have to use a checklist card.
So and then.
But so this is the Dragon Shield Jet.
Okay.
And that's what I use. You have where's your deck?
The Jet.
So there's a little bit of a difference between the Jet
Actually,
and the
these,
black.
I think these are black.
Yeah, you use the black. So no, it's very subtle. This has almost got like a little bit of a white.
It's kind of like I don't know, like a silver almost into it. Where this is just actually just like a flat black. So that's those. Those are kind of the go-to for us. And then you have you have Eclipse.
Hate them. Don't buy these.
I can't stand them. I bought one pack, and I think after like the first round, I actually re-sleeved my deck.
If you mash the corners together like that one time, they will nick the edges.
Yeah.
And then if you like do this to your card, it'll actually leave a mark on this backside.
They get sticky.
Yep.
And they're just
And then that's
sleeves.
that's another thing. Like Craig said, they pick up dirt. I feel like they pick up dirt super
They
quick.
fish?
Yes.
No,
So then, kind of go to like this is your generic play.
These are good for like pre-release or draft, and then throw them away.
Yeah, they're you're gonna use them maybe a couple of times. They're good.
I like how you didn't hit record.
Oh, sorry.
Keep
What
cards
are-
in my binder in those.
Oh yeah.
You know,
If you didn't hear what Craig said off camera, he just sleeves his good cards to put in his binder. Like.
Oh,
with
and that's a
with
good
the
idea.
sheet
Yeah,
sleeves.
just placeholders or something. You can hit record. We can go back over there everything if you want.
That's okay.
So then we have the Katanas, which were supposed to be like
Ultimate Guard's new and improved.
better sleeve.
They were sold out for the longest time from distributors.
Yep.
And then when we finally got them in, what was your impression of them, Gary?
You can't double sleeve with that, and they're really hard to double sleeve with this. You have to use the Ultimate Guard inner, and I don't like the Ultimate Guard inner sleeves.
They're too tight.
They're like a millimeter or two shorter, so if the card moves at all, there's actually cards
helps out.
sticking outside of it. They're like the exact size of a card.
And the other thing with the tighter inner sleeves is they're actually going to start to bend the cards.
Yep.
Because they're so tight. Whereas these are just wide enough and just hard enough that they'll actually flatten them, like you said.
Yeah.
And, okay, I'll be honest. You can support your local game store if they carry these and buy them from them, but they are cheaper on Amazon than I can buy them from my distributor.
and that's the thing. Like, I buy a 10-pack of these.
They're like
for
$25.
$25
And
on
they
Amazon.
cost me more than that from my distributor, and they're supposed to retail for $5. So
and
it's just because KMC actually sells direct on Amazon.
Yeah. And now, So the Katanas are kind of like your premium of this, right? It's an ultimate guard sleeve.
You can actually see. You might be able to. These have been sitting on the shelf so long there's
There's
dust on them.
on them, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Oh.
It's all over the playmat now. Oh,
I didn't
gross.
figure it was gonna be on the back of it. So then this is one of the other inner sleeves. This is a soft inner sleeve.
Oh, you know what?
And
Let me see if I have any of the smoke ones.
okay. So if you're like, I'm a big fan, always have been, of double sleeving your cards. One, it protects your cards. So the way that this works, and I'll show, a lot of people double sleeve their cards the wrong way. So the point is,
A lot of people ship their cards the wrong way.
you
too.
actually sleeve the card upside down. So you put this in upside down, and then that way,
Also, if you're shipping cards, please put them in the top loader that way.
correct. So you do it this
so that
way.
the open edge of the sleeve isn't getting stuck to the tape.
Yep. And then, so if you had a top loader, you'd then turn this around. If you're double sleeving in a top loader, and then put it in the top loader this way,
Yeah.
you have no open edge here if you're shipping something. But the reason you do that, so it's just in case if somebody has something on a
Spills a
table,
drink.
if it gets in this edge of the sleeve this way, you can, and I wouldn't say pull it out. Would you actually tear the sleeve open, take the card out,
And hopefully
dry the
bottom
card
edge
off?
doesn't get wet.
Yeah, hopefully there's no problem. Maybe pull it out of that inner, put it into a new inner, and you preserve the card.
So if you haven't experienced the great 32-ounce Mountain Dew Code Red flood of 2009,
Yes.
I hope you never do, but that happens, and that's why we double sleeve. Also to keep our foils flat. So, brought up the topic of dual-faced cards.
Yep.
These are perfect for dual-faced cards because they are dark inner sleeves.
Yep.
And they're just dark enough. I can open this.
Now some people when they played them, and you've probably seen them here.
I used to sleeve them the wrong way because it looks really cool.
It does. It gives us a smoked look to the front of the card.
So what it does is the back of this sleeve is smoky, as you can see, and it's hard to tell in the picture.
Now,
or
and
on
the thing
camera.
is, it's not black.
No, you can see through it, but it's dark enough that through opaque sleeves like those pink dragon shields, you won't be able to see anything from the card.
And the point of that is, if you have a double sleeved card or a double faced card, that you could pull the card out and not have to take it out of the inner sleeve as well, and still play it and see through it. So like, personally, I didn't use the Ultra Pro version of this, and that was just because back in the day, Ultra Pros were tighter fit. So when you actually use the soft sleeves, they
I
actually
didn't like.
bent
So we
cards a
got
little.
some comments. I like the side loading are convenient, but they don't protect your cards from liquids.
Yep.
Dragon Shield matte sleeves for EDH. Yeah.
Color
They
choices
also
are a big one.
these also come with 102 sleeves.
Yeah.
So you get 2 backup ones for if you rip one or something. Let's see.
I guess what's nice to notice is that for every 3, you've got an extra set.
Yeah.
Because you'll have 100
I
sleeves in there
used
as well.
to use the Kmc Hyper Mats. I tried them for a while, and what I didn't like was they were about 2 millimeters shorter this way than the Dragon Shields, so the cards would poke out the top.
I did the same thing, and I didn't like it because I felt like the backs of the sleeves felt similar to the Eclipse.
Yeah.
You
rough.
could almost leave a thumbprint though on a card, and it picked up dirt rather quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a lot harder to shuffle, say if you're playing a longer tournament.
Now let's talk about shuffling, because somebody made a comment in your stream that they split the sleeves all the time.
I think we're talking in Discord.
Maybe it was in Discord. I don't know.
Yeah, because we were talking about shuffle.
So if you shuffle the top edges, you'll probably be splitting sleeves, because what's going to happen occasionally is this card is going to go inside the other card.
Don't do it. Oh.
And then if you press there, it's just going to slice it.
Yep.
Obviously, if you go to riffle shuffle, where you're doing this and bending your cards, that's going to damage your cards over time. And a lot of people will tell you...
And I have a card that...
Okay, I was going to say, a lot of people will claim that that is not true, or double sleeving prevents the bend from happening, but it's not. I have seen plenty of cards, and Garrison's going to go get one, that have a riffle shuffle mark right down the middle of them.
And what's funny is that, so I've had this card, it was like the first fetch that I ever picked up from somebody, I traded from somebody, and it came this way. The first time I ever played it, Matt looked at it and said, "Ooh, a riffle shuffled fetch?"
What's the delta?
Yeah. and it's probably like it is in pretty rough shape.
Okay, so what you're gonna see, I'm gonna get up to the camera, so hopefully this can focus and pick it up nicely. If you look, focus. It might not work. If you look right here, you'll see a bunch of white lines that go vertically, and that's exactly what happens.
Now flip it over, and I think it's more prominent on the front side.
Oh yeah.
Now
So there's all this glare from the lights.
Here's the other thing. So we'll just take this right out. So if you can see, there you go.
Yeah, that's much better.
See all the
so
white that's on
lines
top.
right here. That's what happens when you riffle shuffle.
And the other thing to note
Is it bends really easily
is
in the
that,
middle.
see if I can get it here. When it's actually just flexed, it shouldn't bend almost like it's a teepee.
Like creased.
Yeah. And that's what happens when you riffle shuffle cards. The other thing to it, this one not so much, but I have some others that have been riffle shuffled just over time playing when you're a kid.
So
they get a wave to them also, and you can't, no matter what you do,
you can't.
you cannot get rid of the wave.
Yeah. So the correct way to shuffle, this is of course everyone has their opinion, is you shuffle the bottom corners together, and if you have good, nice new sleeves, they should just fall together. And of course, like I've been playing Magic since 1997.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a technique to it. And if you want to get technical, like if you can split your deck approximately in half and mash half of it together evenly, that's the best statistically way to shuffle. If you're taking a full deck and you're grabbing like the bottom, third or fourth, and you're just doing that, this part of the deck isn't getting shuffled at all. And then you're going to grab the part that has been shuffled, and you're going to make a new part that has been shuffled.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of complicated Frank Karsten math, and I think what it says is if you can do it really, really close to 50-50, 8 riffles is plenty.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say riffles.
8 shuffles.
8 mashes.
Yeah.
But if you do this technique, it's like 7,000 that has to be shuffled
To get it
to get
done.
it. Yeah. So like, it's way better to just take your time and shuffle it evenly, and hopefully my angle is good on this. For the camera.
It seems okay. You can kind of see. Yeah, you can see where the angle is to it. It wouldn't hurt as bad if it wasn't a fetch. No matter what you do, if you have a card that has.
So this is a really
shuffle
unnatural
crease, it's
angle
bad.
to get it this way at the
Yeah.
camera. But yeah,
Actually,
so,
I think if you tilt back this way.
well, then you can't really see where I'm going on the top of it. But this way, you can see
Oh
that
yeah,
it's kind
yeah,
of
that's
half and
half
half.
and half. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the best way to shuffle. I have never split a sleeve shuffling this way. Ever.
And I was gonna say that was a part of the discussion was that. So I've never split a dragon shield in any sort of tournament play. I have, however, ripped a dragon shield by myself, and that was because I accidentally got one of the corners caught, and one of the corners bent, and I swapped it out with a sideboard card. I did not want to reuse that card, so I actually split the card. And the sleeves are actually pretty durable.
That's actually a good point too. Is eventually these corners, and like for whatever reason, maybe it's the angle I'm doing this at. When I go, so this is shuffling from the top of the deck, so I'm taking the top and I'm mashing it that way. For whatever reason, this way is much more. You can hear the corners. I don't know if you can pick that up on the mic. You can hear them kind of push against each other, but if I shuffle from the bottom, they just slide together. So you don't hear all the crinkling.
And I'm the exact same way too. I think it's also a feel portion to it. So I can see there was a question: how often do you change sleeves?
Once a season for me, but literally every game of Magic I play is on this camera.
Yeah.
With the exception of when I played Ian.
Okay.
So I play 3 games of Magic a week
Sure.
for 3 months or whatever.
And as of right now, it used to be. Eventually, you get a feel when the sleeve starts to get harder to shuffle together.
Yeah.
And like these are currently to that point. Sometimes they will shuffle together well.
Yeah.
And you won't have any issues.
You won't get clumps.
Correct. But then you'll start to see where like Matt's right now evenly is dispersed. When you start to see that you have sleeves sticking together, you should swap out your
I
sleeves.
threw it away. I had a sleeve that I don't know what happened. but this got dinged and it actually left a crease on there. So
Mm-hmm.
of course you got to throw a sleeve like that away. This corner's starting to get weird, so I should probably throw that one away. But really, you just want to look at every single sleeve, and if nothing
Now,
is identifiable about that sleeve, you're fine.
I've known people that it's literally like if they went to a GP, they came with enough sleeves that they re-sleeve their deck between rounds every single round. They didn't want to have a problem. Yeah, you tell exactly who it is. That's right.
That's right. He's like, I'll take a case of Dragon Shield Night Blue mats.
Correct. But that being said, the way that Ray shuffles is a lot like Ray can be a lot harder on his cards at times than a lot of people are.
Best sleeves in my opinion are Dragon Shield matte sleeves.
Yep.
I prefer the jet color. But black jet, anything dark in color is good. They are slightly see-through if they're the lighter colors, so you have to keep that in mind.
It's funny, I went around with green, like the two different greens, the apple green when it came out, and then the darker green, and for some reason, I just didn't like it, and I think it's more because you can, with the colored sleeves, if you will, the lighter kind of colors, you can almost see an outline of the backside of the card.
Yep.
And I don't like that when you're looking at the back of the, like when you're staring at your library as it's face up. So I have gone back to black. I tried the jets. Also, I guess there's somebody who said there's two different kinds, right? There's the regulars, and then there's the non-glare. No,
never mind. Oh, the non-glare?
There's two different kinds of mats.
I ordered the non-glares one time. I ordered one case of them, and Garrison tried them a few times, and they actually don't really help with glare.
No, not here. And that's so the thing about it is the top of the sleeve. I don't know how to explain it.
It's not totally clear.
Right, and it's and you can probably tell.
It's slightly like it's got a diffuser lens on it.
Now, the one thing that I will say about the non-glare sleeves is I feel the non-glare sleeve shuffles better than the traditional mats do. But it's probably just because I feel like the non-glare sleeves don't pick up as much dirt.
Submit
on the
final
front
results.
side.
All right, Rick, first place.
Yes.
First. Yeah. First. And first. Jason. Where's Jason?
Yeah, the shuffle is pretty
Jason.
good with the non-glare. Now, the only issue with that is that I think I bought
that's correct.
3 packs of non-glares.
You get
And
the step.
I want to say every time I re-sleeve my
That's Ian.
deck, I had to be very careful because I go to draw a card and the deck kind of wanted to slide
Garrison.
away. Oh, yay.
And John.
Loser present. What?
There's one prize for 8th
Dragon
place.
shields are
It's a
always worth
booster
the
pack.
extra few dollars. Yeah. And, now, I guess that's something to note, too.
They're the same price. Well, okay.
Next week.
I don't sell things in general for MSRP.
Yep.
These are supposed to be $10.95. I sell them for $9.95. And if you buy a full case, I sell them for like $8. I think that's retail price,
Which is $9.95.
I don't know what the retail is supposed to be on those,
But-
because I only bought them once.
They're currently $9.95. So the thing to note is that
Don't buy those.
if you're
No.
depending,
So if you didn't hear Craig's peanut gallery comment,
yeah,
don't buy
those. Yeah.
don't buy these either.
And now like that, and that's the other thing you can
Just buy
actually
these.
tell. So like these are $2.95. There's something to be said. It's like a good, better, best,
Yeah.
right? When you're purchasing something, these are fine.
There's
if
also
you're
a category
to-
below good, which is penny sleeves.
Correct. These are fine when you're doing something like a draft. You're doing something like a
If
seal
you're storing
pool.
large amounts of cards.
Yeah,
I like
sure.
to sleeve my binder cards, and I
But
do it in these
I will
because
s-
they are so cheap.
I will say, if I was going to sleeve an entire binder of cards, I just put them in Pro Fits because they're going to go into a sleeve.
Right, and so like that's the other thing is that whenever I sleeve my cards, they're sleeved in perfect hards, and then they go into the binder in perfect hards, and that's just you pull them out of your binder, they're already ready to go. You don't have to de-sleeve them, re-sleeve them.
Just put them into
Just
a
put them
Dragon
into
Shield.
a dragon shield, and you're
So anyways,
set there.
we will conclude this little educational seminar by saying don't ever buy these. Probably don't ever buy these unless you're doing a draft and forgot
I
to
don't
bring
even
these.
like this
Don't double
version of
sleeve
these.
with gloss sleeves.
Don't double
Your deck
sleeve.
will be way too slippery and fall all over.
Just don't buy glossy sleeves.
Yeah,
So buy these, and I think these are acceptable. If
Yeah.
you're gonna double sleeve, I would prefer these. If you have foils at all, use
definitely.
these. And if there just happens to be dual face cards in Zendikar, and you're gonna use some and don't want to use checklists,
And those are a soft sleeve.
yeah, these are an inner sleeve.
Yeah, but I mean they're a soft inner
Oh,
sleeve.
yes.
They're flexible, not like the
Yep.
cards are.
Yeah, so I would buy the smokes if you're going to use dual face cards.
Now, if you want to try, I guess that's the other thing, trying different things. I don't care for these ones because they used to be a little too tight on the cards. There is a difference in size
Yeah,
between KMCs and Ultra Pros.
Before I started playing with some random foils, I exclusively used these,
Yep.
with the exception of when I had dual face cards.
Yep, and see I exclusively used KMC soft inners, just like the way that they fit. So that's kind of where you get to, but
I'm not going
so like that gives you
Like
everything.
the
that's
thing
there.
with the perfect cards is they're oh no, they're not cheaper in the long run because they're like $250 for a 50 pack
yeah.
on Amazon.
They're a
Yeah.
little pricier, but
Yeah, they
they're
are more pricey.
better. They're just
Yeah,
better.
they're better. And double sleeving your cards also has the benefit of making them shuffle smoother because they're a little bit fatter so that they slide together easier.
Yay. Yep.
So,
Yep.
all right. So Garrison and I are going to grab modern decks.
Modern decks.
Modern decks. We're gonna play a couple games with Modern.